As we head into the most delicious time of year, it's easy for our usual eating habits to take a back seat. Here with tips on staying mindful about nutrition this holiday season is Alaine Mills, Registered Dietitian at MUSC's Health and Wellness Institute. Alaine, great to have you here with us. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So I think the two struggles, right? It's overindulging and then it's, feeling like you're restricting yourself. How do we find that balance?
Yeah, I think it's really important to focus more on what you need to eat, the nutrients that you need and the healthy foods that you do need versus focusing on the ones that you need to cut out, because especially during the holidays, there's going to be lots of treats, lots of indulgences around, and that's okay. But making sure that we also have the foods that we need that help us feel full and help us feel satisfied, so we don't overindulge on those types of foods and make you feel bad.
Yeah, what are those foods that we need?
Yeah, so making sure that you have lots of foods that are high in protein and that have lots of fiber, and that helps your gut health and that satiety. Foods that have fiber are mostly plant-based foods, so things like fruits and vegetables. Beans are a really good source of that fiber, whole grains. So those types of foods, prioritizing those and making sure that we're getting those can really help us to not overindulge on maybe the higher sugar, higher fat foods.
I know many of us are guilty. I'm guilty as well. We want to save up those calories for the big feast, but is that really, is that the right thing to be doing?
I would say that is the number one mistake that I see people doing, is trying to save up calories or trying to save up food, like not eating throughout the day in order to save up for that big meal in the evening. But what that does is it makes you hungrier, and it actually makes it harder for you to control yourself when those foods are around. So it can make your overeating a little bit worse. So I would definitely recommend focusing on still eating every few hours, having protein, having fiber, having carbohydrates every few hours, and then trying to moderate what you're eating at that special meal or that big time.
Do you think it's more important to eat every few hours with a holiday season, someone that wants to really be mindful about what they're eating and, nutrition wise? Do you think it's more important now, or do you think that we should really be living our life this way, eating every few hours on a day-to-day basis?
I think that we should really be living that way on a day-to-day basis.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. But it may be even more important during the holidays when schedules are a little bit off. Maybe you're off work, so you don't have those regular cues to eat your snacks and eat your lunch. But yes, I think it works better for most people all the time versus like that under eating and then overeating cycle that we get into.
And recently we've been hearing a lot about mindful eating. Mindful, what does that mean?
Yeah, so mindful eating is all about really paying attention to what we're eating. In the world that we live in now, we're always so busy eating on the go. We might be eating, we might not even taste the food that we're eating. We might eat too quickly, so we're not even noticing it. So there's actually a lot of research on mindful eating that shows that when you pay more attention to what you're eating, really slow down, enjoy each bite, smell the food, taste the food, that you actually feel more full and more satisfied after eating the food. And that's what keeps you from overeating later, is when you're actually feeling that satisfaction from the food. So it's really all about that focus and taking that time to pay attention to your meal.
Yeah. And now I want to talk about, working with a registered dietitian. Who would benefit from that, or who are most of the clients that you see?
Yeah, I think anybody can benefit from meeting with a registered dietitian. People might think that they only need to go if there's something wrong or something's not working, but a dietitian can help you to optimize your health so that you feel your best, not just physically but mentally as well, because nutrition helps your brain health, it helps you function throughout the day. So I think anybody can. A lot of the clients I see are just people like you or I that maybe they want to perform the best in their workouts. Maybe they are wondering why their training is not going as well if they're training for some type of race or something like that. Or maybe they're just wondering, what do I do now to protect myself from developing chronic diseases later in life? So.
And now we were talking a little bit earlier, MUSC's Health and Wellness Institute, it's less about the reactive, right?
Yeah.
To go see a registered dietitian or a professional when something's wrong, but you want to kind of prevent that from ever happening.
Yeah, we're focusing more on that preventative health. So preventing you from having those diseases and conditions later in life. And that's something that's worked really well for us. So yeah.
That's wonderful. And muschealth.org/HWI is where you can go to book an appointment. But the Health and Wellness Institute is making it much more accessible.
Absolutely, yeah. You don't need a referral from your doctor or anything like that. You can just go online, you can call us, and you can get an appointment quickly, which is great. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's so wonderful, Alaine. Thank you so much for being here and sharing with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We're back in 2 minutes.